Alrighty, welcome back. We're going to prime some fenders. I've got them put on. I've got the front end put back on, the inner fenders. Aiden did a good job priming those for the very first time. We must all think, you know, if you was priming for your very first time in front of the camera, how tense it would be. And he does a very good job every time, you know what I'm saying, to be able to perform and do something for the very first time in front of the camera. We do not take it down, we do not cut it, we do not anything. And he did a good job. And we are on air, and I'm your man, Bad Chad. I'm going to put a little bit of primer on the fenders this morning. They're not on there. They're on there with zip ties is what they're on there with. They're on there to hold. Basically, that's it. All the lines are so-so, like they're just so-so right now. But I want to get the fenders in primer, and the reason being is I do not want any rust coming back. We sandblasted the top rails of each fender and around the bottoms and the wheel lips. I had to do a little more filler work around the front here, and right this present moment I'm feeling that the fill is not feathered off good enough with the metal. So right now I'm just kind of feathering the fill off a little bit, and I'm running the block this way onto the metal. If I come this way, I'll be pulling the fill off. If I'm going this way, I'm feathering the fill off. And basically I just want to get it down a little bit. Yeah, I just want to get it down a little bit, and I'm using an 80 grit. Not going to have to go much further. I pretty well got it, I think. And when I prime this, before I block it again, that's when I will use the guide coat to let me know where the metal meets the fill, whether it's feathered right. That guide coat is, you know, it's foolproof basically. When you guide coat something and you block it out on the primer, you block your primer, you got your guide coat, that will let me know whether that's feathered out nice and whether you're going to see it. And that's what I'm going for. So whether you understand or not, every place, get this swept off here, just a second, right with you. Every place where the fill meets the metal, you have a chance of something that doesn't look right. Basically, you have the chance to have something that doesn't look right. And it's the exact same, I keep saying it, it's the exact same thing as your drywall. When you do your drywall, if you do not feather it off good enough on your ceiling or on your gaps of your, you can see it right here. Right beside that light, you can see that seam on that drywall, can you see it, sweetheart? Is not, you know, perfectly feathered or done right. And basically, I don't say done right, it's just not, it hasn't got enough filler on it, and you can see it whether it's hitting or not. And basically, I'm just going to put a little primer on the fenders, and we're just getting that much closer to having a body that looks like something. I've got the hood and one of the containers out there. The hood is not going on because I wanted to prime the top of the fenders here. Get that ready. I got a body line here that I did not like on top of the roof. I'm just going to spray that a little bit. And I had some really big deep scratches on the other side that I scuffed off, and I'll probably hit them in primer. So we're just getting closer and closer and closer to seeing what the car is really going to look like with the hood off. It hasn't got its stance yet. And what I mean by its stance, the front end is down and the rear end is still up. That's what I mean by the stance. We haven't got a stance yet. We have fender skirts yet to finish. And we've got the hood left to prime. So we're going to just put a little primer on the fenders, and we'll get to see what things look like. I've shaken up my primer. I've got no hardener in it. I didn't shake it up and put hardener in it. I'm not going to do that no more. Not going to do that no more. I'm going to do 1 quart at a time. I've got a half a gallon. I got 2 quarts left, I'm going to say. Basically, pretty close. I'm going to put one of our hardeners in, so we're not going to make that mistake again where we mix too much and then shake it and agitate it or make it activate real quick. Lost some. One of those. We're just going to stir it up with a stick. I'm hoping that the fan will last till I get this done. If it does not, boo-hoo. We're going to put some primer in this bad boy. I sprayed it clean. We went to Hiltz Auto the other day, and I picked up a couple new guns. They were on sale for $34. $34. And I also picked up a gun with a bigger output, a 2.3. I think that I'll start using that as a priming gun, and very happy with that. Also, that 2.3, you can spray metal flake. I'm not sure if that's on there correct or not, is it? What? Looks like it, don't it? You can spray metal flake through a 2.3 or 2.5 I have for metal flake, and that's good for that. And I can spray metal flake through that. It's nice to know that I can get a cheap gun for metal flake. So we're just going to go ahead and spray a little bit of primer on it. We're going to squirt whatever it allows. We got 2 quarts there, 1 quart at a time. We're going to spray it on there. A few places on the car I'm going to spray again. I sand it with an 80 grit. Let's do it. Let's do it! Working.
Just left the quart left in the can. We'll stir that up. We'll put that on. A little fan taking a beating in there. Don't matter how I put the primer on, just as long as I put it on and get locked on so I got something to work with, basically. Primer on everything. Got her coming out good now. Going on good and wet. Did it die? I had a little mix more in this one. I think I'll shut that fan off. It's gonna burn up, ain't it? Let's I got another fan here. I'll put the primer on, then I'll put the fan on. Just like Aiden said, the primer's a little more forgiving. A little more forgiving. Gotta put this fan on, see if it'll shove it out. My mic fell. Have just a little bit of primer left and I'm going to throw it on. pants up. There's 2 courts, 2 fenders, and a little bit on the back. And what I did was, I gotta go back in here. What I did is I gave where the body work was, I gave the most attention. So on one fender on the passenger side, that's where I gave all the attention. Just gonna put some thinner in the gun. Gonna take this right side.
Not liking the gold running boards no more. Jolene doesn't like them anymore. Want to probably end up changing the gold running boards. And that's just a matter of preference, right? As we get putting chrome on it and get doing things, things change. And like in life, you're allowed to change anytime you want to. I usually just put my finger on the end so it stirs it up and goes back into the cup and cleans it. Basically, just gonna put a little more in it. Gonna open the door down here, see if we can't get some of that dust out. Hello, Fina. Take a walk down beside it. Looks good. Just take a walk down beside it. Take a walk around it, take a look at it. Looks good. I think it does. But that's just my belly button. That's called an opinion. My belly button. I run it through twice. That's generally good enough for me, is twice, generally. And you probably know what happened to the gun when the primer hardened. We chucked it. That's what we did, we chucked it. And the reason being is because we ruined it. Well, not ruined it, I guess. We could have probably cleaned it, but to take the time to try to clean it after we did what we did, mix the primer up and let it go hard. So basically that's where I'm at. I did the fenders this morning. I got the front end put on. Had that put on the other day. And now I'm just kind of, basically I'm onto the fender skirts. One fender skirt's got some fill in. I gotta get the rust off it a little bit. With this car, I have left the body work that they had done prior, or a lot of it. I more or less just scraped it down to the bare metal where it was at. And there is places that I would probably prefer to have it done again. But right at the present moment, I'm going with it. And the reason being is because if I start digging into it, I'm not going for a restoration. I'm going for a custom car. I'm just going to make it look the best I can for as cheap as I can. So basically what I'll do is I'm going to just scrape the rust off of the fender skirt, fill it out, make it look the best it can. Whatever work has been done to it prior, it'll be what it's going to be. I'll try to undercoat it, make it last as long as possible, I'm hoping. I can't see the car being driven in the water, the rain, the sleet, the snow. It's going to be looked after anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed and hope for the best. Anytime that you're doing body work, it is not 100% sure that it's going to stay put and everything's going to be perfect. Not even close. Just like the primer that we mixed up the first time, sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want it to. But the car is really looking, once I get the car put down in the back, get the hood on it, get the fender skirts on it, it's really going to look like something, in my opinion. I really enjoy everything about it. We're going to put it aside for a little bit. We got to play. We're going to Ontario Thunder City Speedway. What's it called? Thunder Bay, Ontario. Thunder City Speedway. We're going there Friday for a car show. We're excited about that. Hope everybody that watches YouTube or Facebook comes out and sees us. Jolene's going to bring some shirts that we have with the cartoon characters on the front. We'll be selling those. We'll be talking to people. We'll be picking up ideas. We're probably just going to have a good time. I think they have a few things lined up for us to do. And basically that's what's going on. We're going to get this thing in primer. We have to come back and I have to get my poop in a group and try to get Jolene's race car ready. I really want to go to Pine Tree Jamboree this year. I really want to do that just for me and Jolene because, you know, we deserve it. You know, we work every day and I think we deserve to at least do that for our summer fun. We haven't done any car shows at home basically because we work every day and it's hard to work every day and go car showing. So we're going to take, you know, our one weekend that we have, the third weekend in August, we're going to go to Pine Tree Jamboree, hopefully. All right, everybody, that's what it looks like with primer on it. Jolene showed you and walked around it. Everything is not lined up perfectly yet, but we got primer on things. We're going in the right direction. Basically, the primer is to let me know. I would guide coat it, get the pinholes, let me know whether the body work is looking good or not. That's basically what this, you know, this batch of primer I'm putting on it is for, and pinholes. So, you know, as we're talking here, I would go around and do all the pinholes first. I would not guide coat it. I'm not going to guide coat it. I'm going to get all the pinholes first because I can see them. Ones I can see, I can fix. I can fill and fix now. And then once I figure I got all the pinholes done, and then I will guide coat it and start blocking it with my 220 and going over it. I might even run it down as far as 80 because I know it's going to have to be primed again because we want it nice and straight and feeling good. The sharper the paper, the straighter the car. All right, everybody, that's what I got to say today. We got the fenders primed. Next will be the hood and the fender skirts and get it down to where it looks good. We got to get lower the back. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.